As tensions escalate on the geopolitical front, the European Union finds itself on the brink of adopting a wartime economy. It's a massive test for the Union, unlike anything it has encountered since its establishment. The EU urgently needs a solid plan to hold its ground amidst the crisis unfolding in Ukraine and neighboring regions as well. So if you want to grasp why this term has resurfaced, understand how other EU countries are reacting, and explore the practicality of adopting a wartime economy, then stick around with profit protection because this topic is a heavy one. Now, I don't like to waste time, so let's jump right into it. When we hear the terms war economy or wartime economy, we often imagine scenes of destruction, chaos, and sacrifice. These phrases have traditionally represented periods when nations completely reshaped their economies and industries to prioritize war efforts. However, in today's world, these terms are making a comeback in political discussions, especially within the European Union. EU Commissioner Thierry Breton has taken the lead in advocating for a war economy approach within the EU. His main argument revolves around the urgent need to enhance the EU's readiness and resilience in the face of escalating geopolitical threats, particularly from Russia. Breton strongly emphasizes the acceleration of EU government orders for ammunition and weapons manufacturing, aiming to supply Ukraine and replenish EU stockpiles. The idea of embracing a wartime economy has sparked a range of responses within the EU. Supporters argue that adopting elements of a war economy could empower the EU to respond more effectively and decisively to regional threats and crises. They believe that allocating resources to defense industries, maintaining ample ammunition supplies, and focusing on security-related policies would be a sensible approach in the face of current challenges. However, this proposition has faced considerable resistance. Critics of the wartime economy approach often point to the historical baggage associated with such a shift. Each EU member has its own unique historical context, particularly when it comes to war. For example, Germany, with its painful memories of the Nazi era, strongly associates the concept of a war economy with widespread human rights abuses and immense suffering. France has embraced the idea of a wartime economy, with President Emmanuel Macron advocating for increased production capacity and ammunition manufacturing to strengthen the EU's defense capabilities and respond effectively to regional threats. Eastern European countries, including Poland and the Baltic states, have been strong supporters of the wartime economy concept as well, driven by their proximity to Russia and historical experiences of occupation and conflict, as they believe it would enhance their security and enable a robust defense response. On the other hand, Southern European countries like Italy and Spain, facing economic challenges and focused on post-financial crisis recovery, have expressed concerns about the potential impact of a wartime economy on their domestic priorities. They are cautious about resource reallocation that could affect social welfare programs and infrastructure development. Neutral and non-aligned countries like Austria, Finland, and Sweden, known for their diplomatic approach, prioritize dialogue and resolution through peaceful means. They may have reservations about adopting a wartime economy, preferring to maintain their neutrality while actively supporting diplomatic efforts. These varying perspectives reflect the complexity and diverse interests within the EU as it grapples with the very idea of a wartime economy. Furthermore, critics highlight the significant shift in resource allocation that a wartime economy would require, potentially at the expense of domestic priorities. Implementing such an economy might lead to increased state control and guidance over the economy, potentially resulting in rationing of essential commodities. These changes could send a controversial image to the European populace, potentially fueling discontent and resistance. As the debate rages on, it becomes increasingly clear that there is no consensus on what a modern-day war economy would look like, especially within a diverse union like the EU. The EU comprises of member nations with varying historical perspectives, distinct economic structures, and different perceptions of threats. Implementing a uniform approach to a wartime economy poses significant challenges given this diversity. Despite this ongoing debate, though, it's undeniable that the EU is already taking significant steps to strengthen its defense capabilities. Plans are already underway to boost ammunition production within the EU, aiming to reduce reliance on the United States. The European Commission has also given the green light to plans that inject 500 million euros from EU funds into European shell factories to ramp up weapons manufacturing. This move will be co-financed by member countries and other sources. So if you think the term wartime economy is frightening, I feel you. War is terrifying. There is no denying that we're living in extraordinary times and we still haven't seen the full effect of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But there are two effects of a wartime economy you need to be aware of. The first is that a transition to a wartime economy can result in significant changes in the job market. Some industries may experience a surge in demand for defense-related products and services, leading to job creation in those sectors. On the other hand, sectors that are not directly related to defense may face job disruptions or downsizing as resources are redirected towards military efforts. The second is that a wartime economy often involves resource reallocation and prioritization towards defense production. This can have an impact on the availability and affordability of basic necessities. And rationing of resources may also be implemented, which can lead to limited supplies and higher prices for essential goods. People may need to adapt their daily routines, budgeting, and consumption patterns to cope with potential scarcity and rising costs. Therefore, a war economy gives a lot of the EU members reasons to be cautious, whether it's because of history or simply whether the sacrifices they'd have to make align with their own policies. What's for sure though is that Europe is not helpless, as most of it is in NATO, so that may play a role in deciding how necessary it is for the EU to invest money into arming itself. After all, a lot of NATO members don't even reach their spending goal because the US has them covered, so what's the rush? Moreover, if you want to stay up to date on the ever-changing geopolitical landscape, then be sure to subscribe to Profit Protection. We'll provide you with the essential information that you need to know. Also, give this video a thumbs up to show your support and let us know what kind of content you'd like to see from us in the future. In the meantime, you might want to check out another video of ours where we discuss a recent deal made between Saudi Arabia and Russia for diesel. Nevertheless, that's all for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.